I dropped out of college. There, I said it. I wasn't cut out for it, okay? You know, I didn't even make a full semester. There, I told you, okay? But I wanted to make the same income that a doctor or lawyer would make, and I wanted the same respect, the same fancy cars, vacation, shoes, bags, and financial stability without the schooling. So I built a 7-figure business doing permanent makeup brows within 3 years.
What, like it's hard?
My name is Sheila Bella. Welcome to my channel where I help beauty bosses just like you make more money in their salons and online. Today is story time, and I'm gonna share how I built a 7-figure beauty brand within 3 years. And I'm sure that after watching this video, you'll understand more about my background and the essential steps you might need to take so you can do the same thing. And don't worry, you don't need a sugar daddy to do it, I promise. I used to think I needed a man too, but I didn't. Before we get to story time, this information might just change your life and your business, so make sure to subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and hit the bell to be notified of more beauty business life-changing videos. Okay, story time. Let's start from the beginning. So my business journey actually began when I was a 7-year-old kid in the Philippines, going door-to-door selling stuff. My mom taught me how to make these delicious candies called pastillas made out of butter, sugar, and condensed milk. And just like any kid, I saw it as an opportunity to scale. So I bravely went door to door and tried to sell my kid creation to everyone in our neighborhood. It was disgusting, but some people bought it. So I guess you could say I was conditioned to take rejection just fine, but conditioned to take it, I guess, at an early age. So I came to this country at 8 years old, and it was a culture shock coming to the States. Beyond anything I can explain, I was uprooted from my reality and the Philippines and the language I knew, and now I had to adapt to a new world. It felt like another planet. We all did. So I watched my parents take our family of 10. There were 10 people living in a 2-bedroom apartment in a bad part of town. I watched them take that, our situation, to a comfortable middle-class lifestyle in the North Valley with a cute dog and a minivan. Wow. And my dad did this pretty quickly. Yeah, he's a natural businessman. He's really amazing, and I watched him go for it, He came to this country with all of us, and we relied on him to provide and to figure things out for survival. But he didn't really have a plan. He didn't have like a set plan or anything, but he put one together quick because our time and our resources were running out. So what he did was he decided to sell tools. What he did was he went to tool factories and bought defective automated tools and refurbished them in the parking lot of our apartment. Can you imagine like a family working out of a van from a parking lot of an apartment building? Like doing business, laying out tools, spraying them, a bunch of people sitting Filipino style on the ground. You know what I'm talking about? He's really amazing. I watched him go for it. He came to this country, thick accent, and with all of us, and we relied on him to provide and to figure things out for survival. But he didn't really have a plan. He didn't have a set plan, but he put one together quick because our time and our resources were running out. So what he did was he decided to sell tools. He went to tool factories and bought defective automated tools, and he had a van that he paid $500 for. He borrowed that $500 from my Lola, my grandmother, and he used it. It was like his shop. He used that van to polish up those tools. And then every weekend, us as a family, we woke up at 4 a.m. on the weekends to sell these tools at swap meets. And I'll never forget this one time. I remember there was a homeless guy, and he came up to my dad's window. I was in the back seat, right? And he was asking for money. And my dad, I heard him say the words, he said, "My friend, I have $30 to my name, and I have a van full of kids, and they need to be fed." And he said, "I'm sorry, but I'm also struggling." And he said, "I'm actually on my way to the swap meet right now to see if I can, provide for my family." And I remember hearing that. And I remember saying, "We're poor? What? I didn't even know. And by the way, this moment shattered everything that I thought America was going to be. America was sold to me as this perfect place. I pictured it in my head like it was like heaven. True story. I actually thought when they told me we were moving to America, I actually thought that the streets were literally gold. I know that's super cliche, but I was an immigrant and I was 7 or 8 years old. I believed it. And people were walking on clouds. That's what I was thinking, all wearing white like heaven. That's what I thought America was. So yeah, super contrast moment. This is not what I signed up for. So my dad worked really hard and then he figured out this other side hustle. Listen to this. What my parents used to do was they used to choose houses that were on a busy street, like a big boulevard. And they would knock on that person's door, that house's door, and ask them if they would be willing to rent out their lawn, their front lawn, so that we could do a yard sale in their front yard because the visibility was high, because it's high traffic, right? And we would sell, you know, not our own clothes or old toys or old furniture. We would sell tools. I thought it was a boss immigrant move. I mean, that hustle made a lot of money. But eventually the police caught on and shut us down. They fined us. It was illegal. But do you see what I'm saying? Necessity really makes you act. It makes you act fearless. You're not actually fearless, but you find yourself acting that way because when you don't have a choice, you just move. When your back is against the wall, children relying on you, you just care less about failure and looking dumb because, you know, you have a higher calling, right? You have a purpose. And actually, that's the biggest lesson I've observed from my parents. You know, I feel like I picked up that trait. They made it happen because they had to. To me, they are the ultimate definition of grit. Especially that powerful example they set for me when I was young. I love them so much for demonstrating that to me. So within just a few short years of hustling and yard sales, being shut down at the swap meet, my parents were able to buy a home in the North Valley in some fancy Granada Hills. By a golf course too. Like the golf course was our backyard and O.J. Simpson used to, you know, do golf there. I had a pretty awesome upbringing. High school was a blast. It really was, until I got to college age. So, remember how I started this video, how I dropped out? Well, I didn't tell you how soon I dropped out, so I don't even know if it's considered dropping out. It was more like an annulment, not a marriage. It's embarrassing, but I guess since we're friends, I'll tell you. Listen, I didn't even make a whole month. I just didn't see the point, ultimately. Not at the time. So I would go and not be that into it. I just didn't connect the dots. I didn't understand how this could immediately apply to what I wanted to do. Because I didn't know what that was even. So yeah, if you can't see the end game, you're not gonna apply yourself, right? You're not gonna do anything hard if you don't see the payoff, even the future payoff. I just didn't get it. So what I did was I just kind of wandered around. I just kind of lost like the shops, you know, trying to figure out on campus, trying to figure out where I would fit, and then wander around life too. I tried things about like acting and musicals, and I did have some success there. That was so much fun. But I was like, oh my gosh, all these actors, you know, they're also servers at restaurants with headshots. So maybe I should be one of those guys. So I should probably tell you too that amidst all this, me wandering around, this reckless time in my life, I got married. Yeah, that thing. I made a really hasty decision to accept somebody's proposal after 4 months. 4 months! Oh man. Well, it was a very restrictive relationship. I felt like I wasn't growing, and I was so confused, and so we decided to separate, or I decided to separate. And, you know, I had some major life changes that occurred during this time that crippled my self-esteem. So what did I do? This was dumb. Okay, don't judge me. Remember I told you that this relationship was really restrictive? Like he was like uber religious and very conservative. So what I did was I got a job that I knew would piss him off. But I was so sheltered that it might as well have been 15 in my head, maybe 8. But no matter how many people told me this is a bad idea, I didn't care at the time. If there's anybody in your life, by the way, who's making bad decisions, just be patient with them. Just love them through it. They'll figure it out. Don't worry. So anyway, I got a job that would piss him off, and that job was to be a server at kind of like an Irish version of Hooters. And what attracted to me to that job was the outfit. The outfit was everything. It was a little schoolgirl outfit, and the cleavage was like up to like my belly button. And I was like, that is wrong. That's gonna piss off my ex-husband. Let's do it. Sorry, I was young and naive. Anyway, you know, it was kind of fun. I got a lot of attention. I made a lot of friends. You know, but that rat race got old really quick. I was looking for meaning in all the wrong places. I was dating people like, you know, willy-nilly, and dating for the first time, by the way, at 26, because I didn't really have that much experience, was brutal. It was brutal. People didn't take me seriously because I didn't take myself seriously. I didn't know the simplest things about dating etiquette. Like, my first husband was pretty much all I knew up until that point, so first dates were kind of a disaster to begin with because I didn't know how to introduce myself in a way that sounded good. Like, what do I say? Like, when I go out and introduce myself, do I just say like, hi, I'm Sheila, I'm 26, and most of my peers have already graduated college, but I haven't figured it out yet. I don't have a degree. And oh yeah, by the way, I already have a divorce on my record. Yeah. And I wait tables in a schoolgirl outfit in Hollywood. And also, I had a ton of social unawareness. I look back at old photos of myself and I kind of like feel for her. Like, oh, she was such a nice girl. She was just misled. You guys feel that way? Anyway, so long story short, I guess since my entire motivation for getting this job, you know, this serving job was all wrong anyway, I guess it wasn't my calling. And they caught on, so I got fired. I got fired one day and I needed to move back home. It was bad. I was a terrible server, first of all. I was terrible at everything. I was so in my head. And I constantly worried about what other people thought about me and what I looked like. And did you know that actually makes you a really unlikable person, actually? I wasn't proud of who I was, so I never opened up. I never did this. So I kind of hit rock bottom after getting fired, and that's the time I met my husband now, and he was a guy that actually took me seriously. Yeah, and I'm actually really impressed with him because he saw all of the things in me that even I didn't see back then. So in many ways, he was able to introduce me to who I've always wanted to be. I was like Bitcoin for him. Anyway, I met him, and especially after he proposed, my whole spectrum of priorities changed. I was ready to have a big girl job, and did I mention that he was a school teacher? Yeah, he's a school teacher, he still is. And the truth is, if I knew that I wanted nice things, like designer things, I was gonna have to buy them myself. It mattered back then. Newsflash, teachers aren't in it for the money, and Will and I were talking about buying a house together and starting a family, having kids. And those were my dreams. My dreams changed. So I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's find a career. Okay, let me do some homework. What can I do? What do I pick? What do I want to do with my life? Marry you and what else? But I don't want to go to school. And I also realized that I was marrying into a family where everyone is college educated, and in many ways, I really wanted to legitimize my membership into their world. This was like 10 years ago. My husband, well, he doesn't care about that, but I did, subconsciously, as an immigrant and everything. Oh, super insecure. If I wanted kids, a house, a beach wedding, the whole nine, I needed to get a better job. I needed to get my ish together, but no one was hiring me. So I went back to the drawing board after having my back against the wall, because I also felt like people were laughing at me behind my back. I don't know whether or not that's true, but that's how I felt. So I just hit this like super like low point, and I just wanted to be validated. And I was like, all right, let me describe my perfect job. It had to make a lot of money with benefits, and if I wanted kids, it needed to allow me to make my own schedule. And of course, I wanted all of my best girlfriends to work there because it had to be fun. Oh, it couldn't be anything that required an education. Yeah, because I didn't have that. But it definitely needed to make $1 million a year or more. Yeah, that'd be really nice. Oh yeah, and valet. I need that because I hate parking. Yeah, terrible at Parallel. All right, sign me up. Where do I apply? Preschool teacher? Nope. Wasn't enough money. And there's no valet. Map counter? Nope, still no valet. Okay, what about Kim Kardashian's job? Could I apply for that? Because that looks kind of easy. Oh wait. he has to deal with Kanye. No. Kidding. But the point is, everything that met my requirements, I wasn't qualified to apply for. So the job I wanted didn't exist. So I had to make it. I had to make me a job. I had to create it. Because no one was going to hire me, so I had to hire myself. I had to go back to what Joe Molina did back in the 90s, when he decided to leave the Philippines. Even though it was uncertain AF, he had that same pivotal moment where he just had to go for it. Out of necessity came this crazy idea that I was gonna be a permanent makeup artist. All right, here we go. So I got my permanent makeup done by a lady by the name of Antoinette Parfit. She is an angel, and I got my permanent makeup done by her, and I thought, I wonder why this is something no one else my age was doing. Because there was a stigma with tattooing your makeup back then. That's totally diminished now. And I thought PMU was something that I could, repackage for my generation and make it look cool. Plus, she offered a class that was 5 days long. And I hated school. So, hallelujah. Listen, in my head, I was getting married in 9 months, and I didn't have time to dilly-dally around for 2 years in cosmetology. I was just super confident in my ability to make it work, to just be scrappy and figure it out. I've always had a knack for makeup, so I can totally learn to tattoo makeup on people, right? After those 5 days, I got certified. And now it was time to build a business. So I became one of the first microbladers in Los Angeles. Now what? I bought a little schedule book from Office Max. I flipped through the empty pages of my supposed to be booming permanent makeup business, and I thought, I have to act as if. Act as if. Show up like you're made, grind like you're broke. You know how they say dress for the job you want, not for the job you have? Well, that's exactly what I had to do because I had 0 clients. No one knew my name. So I decided to dress up to the nines and look serious, like face beats, contour, fake lashes, and more liquid lipstick than Kylie Jenner. I went around town figuring out ways to be known. I went to the mall, I walked into retail stores asking if I could leave my brochures there. You think a big store like Forever 21 would turn me down? I'm sure it was against company policy, but I was really nice to her, so she let me. So yeah, she let me put my brochures up, right in front, the register. I'm sure that didn't last. Manager probably took it down, but it was up there and I got some clients. So I got rejected a lot. I tried things. I hit up Ventura Boulevard, hair salons, medi-spas, asking owners if I could leave my brochures in their waiting areas. There's again, I got accustomed to rejection. Just walking into places cold was pride swallowing, but I was relentless. I got turned down a lot, but it was an education in people and in myself because I figured that if I did this in person versus email or telephone, that it would be harder to turn me down and say no when the person with a big smile on her face who's asking is so nice and she's standing right there in front of you. But I honestly saw it as a numbers game. I thought for every 9 people that turned me down would be 1 that would agree to work with me. So I turned into a shameless, in-person self-promoter of my new business. That's how that began. And I felt shame all the time, and I meditated against those feelings because I had them so bad. But I did it. That's how I built my clientele. All my friends thought I was crazy. So a bunch of them said, tattooing makeup is old-fashioned. I can't imagine this ever panning out. That's what they said. So I kept doing that, and I would get a couple clients here and there. And then I discovered Google Ads. I didn't know what I was doing. Lo and behold, guess what? Google Ads work. But it still wasn't enough to get by. So I had this idea to create video content. And I was like, video's where it's at. I believed in social media, like documenting how the procedure was done in my art. And since sex sells, I thought, let me reach out to the girls that used to waitress with me during my avocado fries days. So what I did was I offered them free services in exchange for allowing me to film them for material for my website for free. And before you knew it, I had a bunch of young, pretty girls modeling permanent makeup on my website and on YouTube. And I told myself that this is exactly what I wanted to go for. I wanted to repackage this for a younger demographic, and I was onto something. That was branding. I didn't know what that was back then. So I sought out more queen bees, and I'm not talking about the girls that were Insta famous only. Anyone who had some influence. Anyone. I was doing maybe like one free set of eyebrows a week, and now my portfolio was filled with pretty girls. And in the beauty industry, beauty matters. And next thing you know, influencers with over 100,000 followers, more than that, millions of followers, and celebrities eventually followed me on social media. And they were approaching me. I didn't even need to reach out to them. They were reaching out to me. It was crazy. The more I did, the more followed me. My portfolio was getting larger, and finally people started to believe in me and my art. So pretty soon, those friends, who told me that this was a bad idea, we're now asking for jobs. You know that meme? Hustle until your haters ask if you're hiring? That actually happened to me. And fast forward to 15,000 clients later, 20 plus employees, hitting multiple seven figures, and having a top podcast on iTunes, being a global success speaker and beauty business coach, 2 kids, and a house later. The growth is just mind-blowing. Like, when I look back at where I used to be and who I used to be, and I have to say that I credit my transformation to God, my dad, and responsibility. A lot of people say they don't even recognize the person I am today. And I'm not saying that I'm ashamed of who I was. I'm not. I was a nice girl. I was misled, but I was a nice girl. But what transformed me, what gave me courage, what gave me confidence was accepting responsibility. Lo and behold, the more you take on, the more it will grow you. Thanks, you guys, for listening to my story time of how I got my first million doing PMU brows. Remember, you don't need for somebody to offer you your dream job. You can create it. And I actually want to show you how. I want to see you inside my completely free Broke to Booked Masterclass, where I'm going to teach you my top tips for how to go from broke to booked out. So, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, hit the bell to be notified of new videos, and definitely subscribe. Check out these 4 tips on how I built my clientele through Instagram, or this video about how to make money in a crisis economy.